Doctor, my first question to you is, of course, we know that you are well vested in different areas of life when it comes to writing. But we are just going to be focusing on one of the books that you wrote on democracy, beyond democracy, that is. So
another one which you did not mention, which is very relevant, is women's rights. And I do think that in the book, I also say that women will make a major contribution to the emergence of post-democracy, because what women are doing nowadays is to question some of the democratic political system that we have, especially in the West, has established so far. And that is also another indication.
You've mentioned that women will be making a major impact when it comes to post-democracy. What are some of the issues you have observed that women have raised that they are questioning to perhaps be part of this post-democracy?
Okay, I want to make a distinction between the feminist movement and post-democracy. What the feminist movement is doing is not about post-democracy. It's not about post-democracy, because the feminists are advocating in the last 100 years or more about equality. Nowadays in Scandinavia and in some other countries too, especially in the West, the top of 50-50 of everything. More or less a quota for women automatically just because you are half of the population. I'm saying that this is not sustainable. This is another form of reverse sexism, reverse oppression. So in the post-democratic environment, this is just a beginning to challenge the old traditional world that we get used to. But I think that this is not sustainable. What the post-democratic movement is going to do is to learn from the feminists in that sense, but go one step further to promote minority rights or women's rights in this sense, but in a way that become much more sustainable, in the sense of being focusing on merit, not on the basis, I'm a woman, by the way, and if you do not give me a job, or something, you are sexist, if you criticize me, then you are sexist. But I'm allowed to criticize you if you are a man. But if you criticize me, then you must be very sexist, patriarchal, and all that. So this kind of feminist ideology is too politically correct to the point that is backlashing. So this is exactly what's happening. And one of the reasons, I'm from the US, one of the reasons that Trump is popular among men, by the way, in the US, especially among the white nationalists, is because he is saying something that men now want to hear, is that the women in this sense are pushing too much and asking too many preferential treatment from society. And I spoke in that book about post-democracy, about a new form of racism, what I call reverse racism, reverse sexism, reverse classism in democracy. Is another reason that democracy will not last as we know it. It creating a lot of backlash within itself, a lot of fundamental conflicts that democracy cannot resolve. So the feminists, in a way, have done some contribution, but it's also time to transcend that. In the book, I talk about trans-feminist democratic movement in the future, which is post-democratic. Trans-feminist, to transcend that. But they use a feminist as a base. So yes, in that sense, the women will have some contribution too, but they will be transcended as well.
Doctor, let me thank you so much for your vast knowledge and the time you've made to conduct this interview. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you for your invitation.